Hey everyone, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I almost forgot what day it was. How's everyone doing tonight? Looks like we got some yes or no questions posted. Hey Amy, welcome in. How are you? It's cold where you are. Oh my gosh. All right, let's start off with Smiley. I have a yes for you, Smiley. We have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. This is something that you get that will provide you with emotional fulfillment. Sweeter, I have a no, the Hermit for you. Daisha. Daisha, I have a yes, the Six of Pentacles. Hi, Asia. Let's see, what do we have for you? Ooh, I think you guys still have some ups and downs in 2025, or there's something here that's like yo-yoing, but you're finding your balance in 2025. So I don't know if it's going to be the best year ever for the two of you, but I think that you're working through things. We have the Two of Cups and the Devil. Amy, I have a maybe. Which way is it leaning? Yes. I think this is a yes, Amy. We have the Two of Swords and Ten of Pentacles. Content. I have a yes, the Tower. I'm sorry. The World. Wow, why did I say Tower? Maybe because change is coming for you. I have the World, which is like success, achievement, accomplishment. Oh my gosh, congratulations, IJ. That's awesome. I have a yes for you, IJ. Judgment. I'm doing well, thank you. Well, we just put up our tree this past weekend. So it feels very Christmas in my house. We went with 90s Christmas. That's our theme this year. So we went very, very like colorful, like there's not a single branch on our tree that's empty. Like we have like more ornaments than we can even fit on there right now. Candy canes, we have some like candy coated candy, like garland. It's very colorful, like lots of jewel tones. And then like a lot of Santa decor. So like just super 90s. It's a lot of fun. Um, and then I also went thrifting with one of my best friends. Or I consider her my best friend because I keep my circle very, very close. Um, and we had a really good day on Saturday. Bake, I have a yes. We have the Ace of Wands. I'm getting a no, Bria. I think that he's telling the truth. I think the problem is, oh, sorry, this is Nine of Swords. I think the issue is that he means what he says when he's feeling that, but he changes his mind very often. So he believes that he's telling you the truth when he's talking to you. The problem is that he's changing his mind too much. For Sienna, I have a yes. Judgment. You're welcome. Those of you who are thanking me, you're very welcome. Jazz, I have a yes. Queen of Pentacles for you. Hey, hey. Oh, wait, did you change your name again? Oh my gosh, you're so funny. I'm still gonna call you SB because that's easiest for me if that's okay. All right, is P missing me? Let's see. Show me a yes or no. Show me a yes or no. You're welcome, IJ. SB, I have a yes for you. We have the Queen of Cups. White chick. I have a yes, the Judgment card. Thanks, Amy. It's super cute, super retro. I think next year we're going to do Castle Christmas, which is basically like a lot of spruce, garland, greenery. I'll probably make like homemade decor, like stringing popcorn and like dried citrus and dried cranberries, lots of like candles, like that kind of vibe. But we'll see. We'll see. It's an investment every year if I change the theme. So sometimes I like to just reuse what I've already got. You did go? Okay. Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that. That's good. I'm glad you like confirmed that for him. Yeah, totally. Hey, Stacy. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Stacy, yes, donations are still open if you would like to donate. Sorry, I'm late on that. We're just working on yes nos. Yeah, I think it's good to stay away from the E's, Amy, as we said. Hey Ray, welcome in. You're welcome, Sienna. Jazz, I'm so happy to hear your mom is doing better. That makes me happy. SB, I did get your donation. I just haven't posted the list yet. As of right now, I have Philomena, then James, then SB, then Stacy, then A Jazz. All right. For Ray, I have a yes, Page of Pentacles. Bree. Oh, congratulations on your job offer. Yes, you will be good at your job. You'll feel confident, but not only that, you will be celebrated and recognized for your achievements. Six of Wands. Hey, Ari, welcome in. Bree, I don't have kids right now. I have two nieces and a nephew, which I'm super, super close with. But no, I don't have any kids at the moment. Why do you ask? Ari. All right, Ari, we're shuffling for you. You're welcome, Ray. You're welcome, Bree. Oh, I was talking about Christmas. You thought I mentioned the kids. No, no, no. It's just me and my little kitties. Just me and my cats and my husband. Well, wow, I'm forgetting Brennan here, guys. Don't tell him I like completely. No, me and my husband, and then our two cats. Oh my God. I cannot believe I did. Well, I think because I was thinking of like extensions of me in terms of like me being a mom and I'm not my husband's mother. So like that he just completely was not. No, but yes, Christmas will be with my husband. He does have to work, which I'm disappointed about. So we kind of have to like finagle our schedule so that he can, because he works the evenings. So we're trying to like work it out where we can spend a couple hours with both sides of the family. I will be home by myself on Christmas evening, but I'll probably end up going to my sister's house. She's right down the street. All right, so Ari, for you, I have a maybe. I have the Wheel of Fortune. So I was like, which way are we leaning? And I am getting a no, the moon. But I think because I got a maybe at first, the Wheel of Fortune talks about things not being set in stone. I don't think I can confidently tell you, no, absolutely not. This is never going to happen. But whenever I get a maybe, I ask, like, well, which way are we leaning? Is it more than likely yes or most likely not? And I did get a no. So I'm leaning more towards a no at this time. Yeah, we actually decorated it ourselves. We did a really good job. We got these incandescent, beautiful multicolored lights, and they were on sale for $1.50 a box, brand new at Target when we went up to my brother's coffee shop. And we stopped at a Target and they had this sale, and we're like, hell yeah. So I got like 6 boxes and they're like our tree is just lit up, like there's hardly any empty space that there's not a light, and it's just so cool and pretty looking. Jazz, I have your question. No, my cats did not knock down my tree. Sorry, I got a little stuttery there. We actually have this trick that has been working for us very, very well. And that is that we buy these things called sensicles. You can get them at Walmart or Target, and they're basically scented ornaments that go on your tree that smell like a Christmas tree. And I discovered these because I saw a friend posting about them, how they make her house smell really good. But I Googled, like, do cats like the smell of pine or like fir and like Christmas tree smells, and they absolutely hate that kind of smell. It's like sweet. So we went and got those. We've been getting them every year. We put them on our tree. We put them like kind of low where we know they're going to be sniffing around, and they typically get one whiff of it and they're like, hell no, and they run away. So they do have to kind of get used to it. We kind of have to like let them kind of walk around it and get a feel for it. And then we put the ornaments on there, and then they're just like, they leave it alone. Like, we can trust them as long as those are on there and it smells like that. They don't go in there or anything, but they would, because you guys know when I'm doing readings that they're little assholes and they want to get into everything. So they would. But believe it or not, we figured out a loophole. Ari, that sounds good. So the donation list, Bree, is in the description. So all you have to do is take a look. I have a reading options menu for as little as $5 all the way up to like $35. You can kind of build your readings as well. We have add-on options, things like that. So if you want to take a look there and see, and if you have any questions about any type of reading I offer, just let me know. The channeled messages are what I'm known for. They're on the more expensive side, but they are very popular. I do at least one, maybe two every time that I'm working because people love them so much. Yeah, Ari, like I said, it's not set in stone. Okay, so let me get the donation list posted really quickly so we can get started. We had a lot of pre-orders tonight, so there's not really going to be much of an option to skip this evening. Stacy, I know you skip sometimes, but you're first on the list outside of the pre-orders, so you're already where you would probably want to be. All right, so this is the list right now. Stacy, if you want, you can post right now. I do have a couple people to read for before it's your turn, but if you're like, oh, I'm going to be in and out, like, just read for me. Maybe I'll be here, maybe I won't. You can leave your question with me. I'll call on you when it's your turn. And if you message me on Instagram right now, I can even send you a message when we're ready for you because I value your time. I know that y'all respect my time and I value your time. So if you can't hang around for your turn, that's totally fine with me. I can just send you a message and let you know we're getting started. Or you can hang out with me and wait your turn. That works too. All right, so first on the list is Philomena. We have an in-depth for you. If you would like to post your question, Philomena, feel free. By the way, I have James questions and I have Jazz with questions. Those are the only people that I have questions saved for right now. It's late where you are, but your boyfriend just got into a bad fight, so you're hoping to be live when it's your turn. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. Wow, happy birthday, Philomena. We're still in Sagittarius season, right? Yeah, we're in Sag season for about 10 more days. All right, what are Antonio Sanchez, the Aquarius intentions for Philomena? I do like a fire and air combo. You have your guard up with the connection. He feels like he's in some type of competition, Philomena. Do you have other suitors? Do you have other people? Maybe he feels like you're too good of a catch or something like that. Where he feels like if he doesn't act fast, someone else will just scoop you up or something along those lines. He can also struggle too with like his priorities or his responsibilities and feel like sometimes those things can get in the way of this connection, and he really wants to make you feel important. Well, they are the water sign of the air signs, is what I hear, but they are not a water sign. Everyone thinks Aquarius is water, and that makes complete sense because aqua is in the name. So, like, that's definitely a common misconception. You said you are a good match. Yeah, I like a fire and air combo. Um, hmm. I feel like he thinks you don't take him seriously. Like, I feel like he's wanting to pursue you, and I feel like he's coming from a place going like, is she taking me seriously? Like, does she know that I'm serious? Like, there's some kind of feeling as though his pursuits or his advances, he's hoping will impress you, but he doesn't know if he's quite landing it, you know, like he doesn't know if he's quite making the impression that he's hoping to make with you. So he definitely senses, Philomena, he senses your hesitancy, your reluctance to really give to him. Um, I think that he feels you're guarded. He feels like your wall is up. We have the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords. So it's like he's trying to come across like I am trying to be different. I'm trying to stand out. I'm trying to show you that I'm different. But it feels like from his side, like you're giving a lot of resistance, and he wants to be patient with that, but he's also saying like I do hope that I break through this at some point because like this is okay for now, but I think he's worried long term what this is going to look like for your connection if you continue to not want to let him in. So he respects you, and he respects like your, oh, I'm not going to jump in with both feet right away. I think he understands and can actually appreciate that. But I think that he's worried that his advances towards you are falling short, or they're like, what am I trying to say? Like, he doesn't want it to be all for nothing, is basically the impression I'm getting from him. Does he co-parent? Does he co-parent with his children? With his children's mom? You've only been talking for 2 weeks and he has kids, so you don't want to rush things. Well, here's the thing, Philomena. If you're wanting to protect yourself because you're like, he has kids, I don't really know like if that's what I'm looking for. I don't know if I want to be a stepmom. I don't know if like that's for me. Okay, because I was picking up on single parent. We have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of help from her. And that's why I was asking about co-parenting because I was like, what is this like feeling of, oh, I'm doing this all on my own. I'm lacking. Is the mother involved? Not quite sure. That can also be kind of hard for you and your connection with him as well. If he is a single parent, it can have a lot of benefits because then you don't really have to worry about like the other ex or whatever getting in the way of your connection and making your connection hard. However, it does come with its own set of difficulties because he has to make sure that his kids come first. So it's like he's trying to like make you as much of a okay, that's good. I'm glad you said it's not because of that, it's because of your last connection. So what I will say to you is being worried about him having kids, you have your right to have your concerns, but also keep in mind that it's Antonio's decision how things move forward with you in concern of his children. Like that's his choice, you know. You don't have to worry about your part in that. You don't have to worry. He will guide you. Like if he's not ready for you to meet them, you won't meet them. Like if you're worried about this and that, you can tell him that. I feel like that's his responsibility, to figure out and navigate. So you don't really, I know you said you're worried because he has kids, but you don't have to worry about that. As far as like rushing things and all of that, because he will set the tempo for that, is what I'm getting. The kids are his world. They're the highlight of his life. We have the son. They're everything to him. And you are very appreciated for understanding that kids always come first. And that's why he sees the value in you, because he knows that like you have that mindset and that is very valuable to him. At the same time, he doesn't want you to use it as an excuse to not get close to him, because he's like, I will handle this. Like, I will take care of it. When it comes to my kids, you don't have to worry about anything. The only thing he expects of you is to foster and maintain a relationship with him. That's all he expects out of you. And then as you guys get closer and as your relationship builds, then we can start to assimilate those other areas into your life. But he's not expecting that up front. And I feel like he really wants you to know that his intentions are to pursue you. But I think that he's feeling a lot of resistance from you to like be able to do that. And I think he is worried about it. I don't think he's love bombing. No. No, I really don't. We have the Ace of Cups here, so and Ten of Cups. So I feel and Queen of Wands. I feel like his intentions are to basically just find his life partner. I think that's really what it comes down to. I think he feels like he's looking for a companion. He's looking for someone that's going to add to his life, in a very constructive, good way. Here's the thing, he's a single dad. He's not like, he doesn't want complication. He's already got that. He's not looking for something toxic or whatever. He's not looking to like try to bring you in as fast as possible and make you be a stepmom to his kids so he can go off and do whatever he wants to do. He's just simply looking for companionship, is what it feels like to me. What is your concern with the love bombing part of it? Has that happened to you before? I feel like he has pure, um, like attraction to you, like in its rawest form. Like I think that his feelings for you are very genuine up until this point. I know it's new. I think you said that you guys hadn't been together for very long. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah. Um, you have every, what am I saying? You have every right to be hesitant and to be cautious, but don't stand in your own way. If you're really feeling this person, you can't, like, he can't be punished for something that someone else did, you know? So if you still have to heal from that and be able to be in a position where you can trust again, then you can just tell, Antonio, hey, like, I thought that I was ready and it turns out I'm not, and I don't want to put you through an emotional roller coaster for me, with me, when I could just work this out on my own because you've got too much going on. But if you're like, no, it's just my fear taking over, I really like this guy and I really want to continue this down this path, then I think you have to let that happen. The thing about dating, the thing about, it's scary, you're putting yourself out there, but like you never want the person that you're entering in a new relationship with to have to fix the problems that he didn't create. If you find someone that's willing to do that, all the better, but he shouldn't be punished because you had a bad experience with someone else. Like you should be in this position where you're like, okay, I can see they're not the same person. And now if he's dropping all these red flags in front of you, we'll listen to that, don't put yourself through that again. But to me, I think there's a difference between courting you and sending you flowers versus love bombing. There's those are not mutually exclusive. Just because someone sends you flowers doesn't mean that they're love bombing. It just means that they like you. They want you to know that you're appreciated. So I'm sorry that someone else gave you a bad name for romantic gestures, but that's not what I feel he's doing here. Well, I think that um that can be a romantic meet cute, and that can be like the start of something really nice. Or it can just be another failed situation. But I think his intentions are pure. If I'm going off of it, I think that you should still be hyper aware. I think you shouldn't just ignore the lessons of your past. I think that if you're starting to get red flags, then break it off and move on. But if you've only seen green flags from this guy, and it's just your fear that's stopping you from taking the next step forward, then I think that is something you have to figure out and move forward. I think this guy's just honestly lonely. I think that he's looking for companionship. I think it would be worth asking him more questions, getting to know him. Look, I'm not saying jump into a relationship with this guy. I'm just saying get to know him more, run a background check, like ask some questions, figure out what happened with his last relationship, ask him more about his kids and their relationship, and like just get to know this person. There's nothing saying you have to like get into a relationship with them. Just like get to know them better and just see how you feel. Philomena, I think that's the problem, is that you're blocking all these good things. Remember, like, over the last couple of months, you're like, I just want to find a good guy. I just want to get into a relationship. I want someone who's taking me seriously. I don't want to deal with all of these, like, fuck boys, for lack of better words. And now you have a guy who's like pursuing you in a very real way, and you're scared. And so, like, just remember what you said you wanted. This guy wants to bring you flowers. He's pursuing you. He's attracted to you. He wants to take care of you and bring you food and show you that he's interested, but you keep blocking it. And, he might get tired of that at a certain point. So, before you block it all, embrace it, enjoy it, receive it, and get to know him. Like I said, you don't have to jump into a relationship with this guy right away. If he's trying to get you on the hook and say, hey, will you be my girlfriend like tomorrow? Just tell him that's too soon for you, and that you'll let him know when you feel the time is right. You don't have to you can do this your own way. There's no book on the right way to do this. But I think you should allow yourself to open up into these possibilities, Philomena, did you want to add on to your reading? If not, no worries. I am going to go ahead and move on to James. Okay, sure. Go for it. All right. It came through. I have you down for a mini this time. I went ahead and closed the list, everyone. So if you're currently on the list and you want to add to your reading, I will honor that, but I'm not accepting any new donations from anyone new outside of the donation list. All right, anything coming out? What will come out of this connection? Will anything come out of this connection? All right, so along the current trajectory, I do have the Magician. So Spirit is basically coming in and saying that the connection is what you make it. Like, if you allow for this to happen, then it will happen. And if you don't, then it won't. What is the outcome of this current trajectory? What's the outcome from her perspective? What's the outcome from his perspective? So I think that if you continue to decline his advances, Philomena, I think you guys are going to be down a bad path, is what I'm getting. I have the 7 of Wands, the Tower, and the 3 of Swords from his perspective, which basically just means that he felt this was like very difficult. He felt like it was one-sided. He felt like it was a challenge or a hardship for him, and he just felt like he had to walk away, but he's very heartbroken about it. He's very sad about it. This is not how he wanted things to go. And I think from your perspective, you just kind of feel like, oh, just another one bites the dust. Like you're kind of like, oh, this was to be expected because that's just how my life is. And you're feeling like very disappointed and you're having a hard time like believing in like something good happening. Um so like basically what I feel like I want to tell you is to like just kind of go easy on the guy. Like give in a little bit, make him feel that his efforts have been worth it. If you allow for things to be open, and you don't resist, what is the outcome? We have sunshine, we have the sun, lots of positivity, happy outcomes, sun shining down on the situation, good luck, confidence coming from this connection, in investing in each other emotionally. I still think that even if you become more receptive, more open, less resistant, it's a better outcome. But I do see that you're still going to have some healing that needs to be done in this connection. Like you're still going to be working through things personally, but you're going to be happier with the outcome. And I think you can work through those things while still being open to him. I see a physical relationship as well. It's basically saying that like becoming more open and less resistant leads to a happier outcome with emotional investment, physical connection, and just overall positivity and happiness. And like you'll feel like this was worth it, like your hard work is paying off. So I think it's your choice. I think you have to. It's gonna be whatever you want to make it, Philomena. And if you feel like it's too much too soon, communicate that with him. If you feel like, okay, I really love what you're doing, and I feel like, in a couple months from now, these gestures will mean a lot to me. But right now, they're kind of triggering me because I've been in a connection where they were love bombed and did a lot up front, and then they've just like abandoned me. So if we could dial it back for now on that kind of stuff and just try to get to know each other, that would be great. I appreciate them. And I'm sure down the line, as our relationship unfolds, like that will be something I'd love to introduce back into our connection. Just right now, it feels like a lot to me. And I just want to focus on like our connection, right now. Like maybe saying something like that to him if you feel like it's too much and it's triggering you. All right, Philomena, that's what I've got for you, girl. Hopefully, you make the best decision for yourself. I am going to go ahead and start working on James's reading. Just a quick update. I'm almost done with James's channeled message. I am going to work on a couple more readings for him that he donated for, and then we will be moving on. SB will be next after James. SB, if in any time in the next like 20-30 minutes you want to drop your question, feel free. You can also leave your question in Instagram if that's easier for you. So this took a little bit longer than I thought. I had a lot of like, I guess it just felt like a longer message. I don't even know if it is, to be honest. It might just be like a normal length, but I felt like it was a lot to kind of process. So I'm going to go ahead and send you what I have here. Okay. All right. So, James, she says, I've been thinking about this and I can feel where you are at right now. And I know I'm not in the same place, although I know I want to be. I'm very aware of the fact that you are ready to step into something new and real. You want a fresh start, and I want to be mentally there next to you, and I'm not. And I don't know how to get there. I selfishly keep you because I don't want to look back one day and feel I missed my chance. I wish time would slow down so I can catch up with you. You are moving forward with so much zest. You know what you want and where you're going. I wish I could be there too. All right, so that is what I've got for your channeling. We're going to go ahead and work on your love too. Let me get my iPad put away. Make sure that if you're waiting for your reading, you are leaving your question with me if you don't think you're going to be able to stick around, because I'll still do your question no matter what. So this is all coming down to Patty feeling like she has a big decision to make. And I feel like she feels like the deadline is just coming way too fast for her. Kind of like needing to give you an answer, kind of like turning in a report or something for school. And like time has gotten away from her, and suddenly she's got to get you this answer by tomorrow, this report, like she has to get this turned in by tomorrow or whatever. She just feels like it's approaching rather quickly, and I don't think she's ready for it. And I feel like she has this like thing over her head where she's like, I have to make a decision. I either have to jump on board with this and just dive in with both feet, or I have to pull back. And I'm not quite sure. I think that Patty feels that she has or in the past she felt like she had a lot of time on her hands, and I feel like she's trying to understand you and understand the connection. And I feel like she's buried her nose in the books, and she has just done a lot of studying and a lot of research, and what this really is a lot of distraction. She is using this as a crutch. All of this like fluff, all of this stuff that she's doing and researching and looking up is all a distraction for what she knows she actually has to do. She's procrastinating, and suddenly she's realizing that the whole world has gone on while she's been kind of stuck in this one place, and now she has to figure shit out. And I think that it's kind of like the shit or get off the pot. I feel like she's like kind of feeling like, okay, I've got to kind of figure this out. I need to know, like, you know, I don't know why I'm getting like mistletoe. I'm getting like New Year's Eve kiss. Like, I feel like she needs to make a move on you before like it's too late. And I feel like she doesn't know this yet, but in the very, very near future, she's going to figure this out. And suddenly she's going to be under all of this pressure. She's going to be, because here's the thing, James, from what I know, from what you've recently told me, you are an all in kind of guy. You're going to go all into one person, and you will have to cut yourself off in order to move forward with something else in another direction, because that's not fair to you. That's not fair to anybody else you may want to pursue. So you're going to be like, no, this is it. I'm done here. So like I said, I don't think she quite knows this yet. I think she feels this shift and desire from you to move forward. But I personally think that she thinks that it has to do with her. She doesn't quite understand that you're also moving on. You're also moving forward. And I think that energetically she will figure that out, because you're not going to be putting as much effort into her anymore. I do think that she still feels like you're her person. She still feels like you're her knight, her king, her whatever. I just think that she's stuck. I feel she's frozen in time. I just see her in her room quite a bit. And it's like she's kind of huddled away and hiding from the world. And I think that she's moody, and I think that she wants what she wants in that moment. And I just don't think that, like, I don't think it's aligning. I don't think you guys are aligning. And I think that her whole thing is, oh, that's okay, because it'll happen one day. That's okay, because like I have this vision, he's waited for me for this long, so like he'll just keep waiting. And I think that something needs to happen where she needs to realize, actually, that's not the case. Is she going to be happy for you to move on? No. But at the same time, she has enough self-awareness. I'm not saying she has a lot, but I'm saying she has enough self-awareness to understand that she didn't make a move on. And I think that that's just going to be the excuse that she tells herself is, oh, well, it just wasn't meant to be then. Because she's an avoider. She likes to procrastinate. She doesn't like to really tackle things head on. She doesn't like to be direct in a lot of circumstances, especially when it comes to her feelings. She likes to make a lot of excuses as to why this isn't working, or why she can't do this, or why she can't do that. And she creates these fabricated there's a specific word that I'm trying to think of. Oh my God, what is the word? It's I'm thinking superficial. That's what I was thinking. Thank you. Spirit came in with that one. Superficial reasons as to why she can't do this or why she can't do that. And basically what she needs to be doing is just acknowledging herself, because she's so worried about the world moving on without her, or you moving on without her, that she's not willing to do anything about it. And the main thing is that if she had just been doing all of this work all along and not distracting herself with all of these other things that she finds to be more interesting or better right now as a crutch, she could technically probably be mentally where you are. So I don't know, it's tough. Because I think that she holds this vision in her heart. She holds this hope for a future. But like I said, her thing is, oh, it'll happen one day, or one day, in a couple of years or something, then maybe I would think about it or whatever. And I think that she's being unrealistic as to your attention span. She's being unrealistic as to how much you will still be willing to give to this. And yeah, it's just kind of complicated. So, I do see her making some changes. We have the death card here. So I do feel like there's going to be some aspects to her that she's going to be working on. But the problem is that you guys are at like completely different paces. I don't think it's going to be fast enough for you. I definitely feel a shift in trajectory for your connection here because of your new choices that you have made in your life. But I think this is going to come as a complete surprise to her if she discovers any of this. But I definitely feel like an energetic shift from her where she's like, oh my God, I have to figure this out. I have to decide. And like I was saying, mistletoe, I was saying New Year's Eve, kiss, something like that. Because I feel like it's almost like a very like quickly approaching shift that's happening, something that's going to happen over the holidays where it's like some big decision is going to be made and like y'all are going to move forward in that direction. Maybe this is your decision, but it could be her decision or it's a decision you make together. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of tough. Yeah. All right. Let's pull for your next question here. Hey, Colcha. How are you? All right. What's the purpose here? What's the purpose? So, a lot of this life that you guys have together is about free will. Like I said, and I've said it before, that you have divine support, but you do not have divine intervention. There is not like any kind of external whatever that's going to come in and just like suddenly put you guys on the same path, on the same track. I feel like this is definitely a life of karma. This is a life of teaching each other lessons. This is a life of trying to figure out what you guys want from each other out of this life. There's agreements that have been made that you will at least cross paths, at least trigger each other, at least help each other. But the main thing that's kind of crazy for me is I feel like you guys are supposed to actually like ground this connection. I think that your purpose is to realize like your fullest potential in the three-dimensional world. Like I think that you guys are supposed to experience a three-dimensional relationship. We have a lot of pentacles here. I think that the main goal or the main objective that you guys came here to do is to experience a real relationship. And I'm not talking about the relationship that you guys kind of already sort of had a long time ago. I'm talking about like a real in-depth, like man and woman connection with each other. You know, the Two of Cups is also here. And so that's making me feel like, you know, the heart of this is love, coming together as equals, really seeing and understanding each other, being intimate, There's something deeply intimate about this card, like two souls connecting on a level that feels effortless and feels real and sharing something special. And I think that you guys are supposed to see what the highest potential of your connection is, but that requires you both to invest in each other. I know a lot of the times, not every time, but a lot of the times, and I don't even tell you every single time, you get the magician card. And so that is like, this is y'all's choice. Like, you guys will make it or break it. Like, this is what you make it kind of energy. Like, you guys have all of the ingredients, but the thing about Two of Cups is that you guys have to like equally put in the effort. It can't just be one-sided. And as I have said to you, well, what's going to help this relationship right now? Well, you've got to carry the weight of it, but it can't be like that forever. So I think that's the hardest part for you, James, is you come into this reincarnation and you feel like so strongly that you guys are supposed to be together, and she feels that way too, and you guys make this agreement, okay, that's what we're going to do in this life. But unfortunately, when we come to earth, we have ego that taps in, and we have amnesia because we forget these agreements. And I think that's why you feel so strongly to not give up. But I also feel like there's your own individual journeys here. It's not constantly intertwined. If it was, you guys would have known each other from birth. You guys are your own people, and you also need to experience. You're like, if I feel almost like your soul is saying, well, if it's not going to be with her, then I need to figure it out somewhere else, because this path is that's what you're looking for. This path is, well, if it's not with her, I want companionship. I want a life partner. I want to build a life with someone. And I feel like, unfortunately, she's succumbing to her wounds. She's succumbing to her natal promise. She's succumbing to like her life, and she's forgetting who she is. And I feel like she's eager to figure that out, but unfortunately, she's not digging her heels into your connection. And so ultimately, your purpose is to trigger each other, to teach each other, to learn lessons from each other, to discover more about who you are and who you want to be, and really commit to the idea that you want to build a life with the love of your life, whether that's her or with someone else. And I feel like you have learned a lot through this connection, even though it's been painful. As sometimes it's been hard, sometimes it's been fun, sometimes, but mostly it's been hard. And I think that it requires her to be where you are. Like, just imagine how great life would be if she was on the same page as you. You guys would just start your life and you'd live happily ever after, and you would have completed and successfully completed your purpose together. But I feel like, again, this is a relationship of free will, that if she doesn't figure it out, then you deserve to, like, that's your purpose, is to find the love of your life. Like, your purpose is to build a life with someone outside of your other callings. This is one of the main things you want to check off that list. And you're like thinking, maybe in the next life, her and I can figure it out. But for now, let me meet someone else. And you never know, like, this could be a part of a greater plan. But as of right now, I think this is more like you have to do what's best for you, you know? All right, let's take a look at your next question here. Hey, James, I'm working on your last reading right now. So James, I don't know if you've been listening in at all. Feel free to go back a little bit if you want to. I sent your reading about 20 minutes ago, your channeled message, and we're working on your last one right now. So you might want to scroll back like 20 minutes if you want to hear everything if you haven't been here. So I feel very guarded. Oh, okay. I feel very guarded to give you this information because I feel like there's kind of been this overlying message from spirit that they want me to know, but they don't know if you are, if you've ever been in the headspace to hear it. And I feel like I have been kind of dropping these little hints through your readings at times, but at the same time I also know you're on your own journey and you have to figure things out for yourself. But I want you to know that you and I are very much aligned. You and I have had a lot of similar experiences, and I think we have a lot of similarities personality wise, and like even just down to like our birth chart and stuff like that. And there's what I feel that you have is this over consuming like love, and like one that's filled with chemistry and passion and emotional and spiritual depth. And like you want this with her so badly. And you're doing everything you can. You're even exhausting yourself from it. And then you alternatively could potentially have the easier love, the better kind of love. Sometimes we think that we have to be like overly obsessive or like overly passionate to really feel like, we found our person. We want to be like, completely consumed by them. But I don't think that's the best kind of love to experience. And I've had both. And that's why I'm telling you this now, because I think that you're probably ready to hear it. I think the simpler love is better. I think the simpler, and I think I'm saying this now because I feel like you can kind of put a face to it and kind of see what I'm saying and see the potential of where you're at right now, because I feel like you're kind of in this like fork in the road where you have established history with someone and you're experiencing something new. But the reason I'm telling you we're very similar is because I've had that, and I've had both. And I have been in a place where it's like I had a Patty, and my Patty came back to me after I met my new person and was like, I still love you. I still care about you. I want to be with you. Like, I'm sorry I didn't see it before. And telling me all these things that like I had been wanting to hear after all this time. And I had just established my relationship with Brennan. We had been talking for a little while, but it had only been like a month maybe or two. It wasn't like something super serious, but I really saw it going somewhere because I felt like it was just easy and it was just simple with him. And he's inviting me to like meet his family and all this stuff. And then the one person that was saying all the things that I had ever wanted them to say, and I felt like, what the heck is going on, because this is what I wanted, and now I don't know if I want that anymore. And I had to make a choice. I had to decide for the person that was giving me more than this other person had given me in years of knowing them. And I just went with my gut. And I'm so glad I did, because here I am now married to that person, married to the love of my life, the easier, simpler, better love. And let me tell you, I'm obsessed with him. Like, I adore him and I love him so much. And the easier, simpler love. And I'm going to cry because it's like, I know where you've been, and I know how hard where you are is, and I feel like it's something I've always thought about you, but I've never really felt like you were in a place to hear what I'm saying. But I think you're figuring it out. And it doesn't really matter what the cards say, because you and Patty have a soul connection. There's nothing that's ever going to break that. There's nothing that's ever going to stop that. Like, it will be there. It will be there after this life. Like, she's probably going to come back to you in your dreams years from now if you guys end up not working out. Like, she's going to always try to be in your energy. You guys will always have that. But for the sake of your mental space, for the sake of enjoying life, for the sake of simple pleasures, for the sake of feeling like you have someone that really understands you, when I tell you a soulmate is just so much better. A simpler, happy, like full of love relationship where you feel mutually appreciated and accepted for who you are. And it's not a fight every single day. It's just full on acceptance and admiration and love. That is how you're going to want to live this life. And if it's not going to be with Patty, you should try to find that somewhere else. And that's what I feel you need to hear right now. And that's why I'm telling you this. And like, I've always been hesitant because I know what it's like to need to get someone out of your system. No one can tell you otherwise. If you're not done with them, there's not a single thing that anybody can say until you see it for yourself. And so I've always been hesitant to say this because I want to validate your experience, because I understand it. And I never wanted to like try to interfere with that process that you have going on right now. But I feel like now you can hear me when I say that it's better. It's better when you go for the least resistance, when you're not trying to force something. So when I can say your future with Patty is going to be filled with passion, and it's not always good passion, but it's passion and it's chemistry and it's emotional and spiritual depth, and you guys have this like psychic telepathic connection where you feel like you're always linked, and you feel like, you know, you guys are here to teach each other things. But my question for you, James, is like, what if it's like this forever? What if she goes, okay, James, I want to be with you, but it's a struggle every single day because she's not willing to change. She's not willing to grow. She's giving herself to you. She's in a relationship with you, but she's not working on herself. She's not trying. She's not changing. And every single day is a fight or an argument. And sometimes she'll like not go missing because you guys would be in a relationship, but she basically is pushing you away, and you feel it, and you never feel certain where you stand, and you question every single day, like, does she still have the same feelings for you that she did before, or has that changed? You know, it always feels like it's a up and down roller coaster. And yes, there's going to be moments of magnetism. There's going to be moments of magic and excitement, and full on attraction and chemistry. And that is there for you in your future with her. But also on the flip side of that, it's also complicated and it's not easy, and there's going to be moments of insecurity and moments of not knowing where you stand and never seeing eye to eye. And like, that's what I need you to think about, is which life do you want? Because there is that future with Patty, but is it going to be all butterflies and rainbows? Probably not, at least with how things are going right now. That's how it's been with Kira. It's like everything I've dreamed Patty and I could be, she's showing up for me in those ways, whereas Patty and I just feel like I'm disposable to her, not a priority. So my question for you is, and you don't have to answer this is more just like a food for thought. What lessons do you feel you still have to learn from Patty? Do you feel like there's anything left to learn from her? Do you feel like, you know, your time is done here? Or do you feel like you still want to keep yourself open to that at risk of losing Kira? Because there is going to come a time here where a decision has to be made. And that's the decision I think I was talking about earlier. When you go back, you'll see what I mean. And I feel, or I worry, I guess, that you might be in the same position that I was at one point, where it's like this person finally figured it out, and they figured out that they wanted to be with me, but it's like, that relationship wouldn't have lasted for me because that person was unwilling to grow. That person was stuck, and I would have risked my entire future. If I had made the wrong decision. It was down to one choice. It was down to the ex or the future. And if I had gone with the ex, I would be living a completely different life right now. For all I know, I wouldn't even be doing tarot. Like, it all comes down to like one decision. Like one, like it's like oh my God, what's that movie with Ashton Kutcher? Why can't I think of it? Why can't I think of the name? But basically, it all comes down to like one defining moment. I'm pretty sure it was Ashton Kutcher. But anyways, that's basically what I'm trying to say is, do you feel like there's still, there you go, butterfly effect. There you go. Because all I kept thinking was a butterfly. That's all I was thinking, but I couldn't think of the full word. So like, that's what I mean. I feel like it all comes down to like one choice. Like, do you feel like Patty is worth the risk? Do you feel like she's worth like losing Kira? And what could come from that? Okay. Oh, Eliana, hey girl. I'm sorry, friend. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to message you the next time that I'm live? And that's fine, James. You say you don't know how to answer it, but I think it's something to think about. It's hard letting that person go. Radiant. Agreed, Eliana. I agreed 100%. Like, I just want to see you guys happy. I want to see you guys, because everyone says, oh, like, Luna, you're living goals, like your goals. And I'm just like, I am, but that's because I made the right choice. If I didn't make the right choice, you guys probably would. I mean, I don't know where I'd be, but I know that I would have risked, everything that I have now, because it came down to literally one pivotal moment in 2015. It was probably like September 2015. If I had gone in the wrong direction, if I had not learned my lessons, I would be living a completely different life right now. And that's what it is it comes down to the decisions that you make. That's why we say with tarot, every decision you make determines the trajectory of your future. Every single time you go, wait, I'm going to choose something else, then your future starts to shift around. And then if you go, no, I'm going to go back to this, then your future changes back. It's like if, for instance, if I was thinking all the way back to like me being born, like if my biological father never joined the Marines, he never would have met my mom, I wouldn't exist. And if they decide, and even if I did, even if he joined the Marines but if they decided never to move back from Virginia or to Virginia from California, I would never been married to my husband that I have now. I wouldn't have the cats that I have. I wouldn't have the house that I have. It's like everything is about choice. you know? It's so wild to think like how much something can shift because of the choices and the free will that we have. So James, with this, in conclusion, I just want you to make the best choice for yourself right now. And I want you to think of like the future that you want and who can give that to you. Yeah, Eliana, for sure. Next time I'm live, I'll let you know. And then, Eliana, I always do the offline readings too. So if like, you ever are interested in that, you can do that as well. Hey, SB, are you ready to post your question? You're welcome, James. Of course, of course. Have a good night. All right, after SB, we have Stacy. Stacy says it's late, but she's trying to stay up. Oh, whoa, that's wrong. Ignore that. Stacy, if you want to post your question now, feel free. SB has a couple readings back to back, but then I'll be right with you. After SB is Stacy, and then after Stacy is Jazz, and then we're done for the night. Jazz left her question with me, so we're good there. I can't imagine where I'd be today had I stayed with Jay. I remember asking myself, can I do this for another year or so? Just to stay hopeful, it was a no. Yeah, it's taxing on you. It's very taxing. But like I said to James, and like Eliana knows, it's like no one can tell you if you're not done with that person, if you haven't closed the link to them, if you haven't like learned everything you need to learn, you're going to continue to want them. You're going to want to continue the connection. You're going to continue to be attracted to them. It's like once you close the loop, then you're like suddenly, oh my God, and you figure it out for yourself. But there's no one that can come in and tell you if you haven't gotten them out of your system. There's no one that can do that for you except for time and your experience. Stacy, I have your question, friend. SB, did you post or did I miss it? You can get a million readings, a million opinions, a million advice, but you have to be ready to let it go. Yes, 1,000 million trillion %. Eliana, have a good night. You and James should talk. He's got some new stuff going on. I'm curious your insight. You're welcome. Have a good night. Okay, so did SB leave? Now I'm confused. SB, are you in here? Oh wait, your questions are I'm so sorry. Your questions are in the donation. I'm just going to throw this up on the screen. I'm so sorry. No, you're good. You're good. All right. So you're doing a BOGO and then message cards. All right. Let's see. I didn't realize you put them in the donation list. I feel like he's territorial over USB. I feel like he doesn't want you to, like, I feel like he doesn't want you to be with anyone else. He feels kind of protective over this connection. Like, I think when he thinks of you, he's like, oh, that's my girl. Like, that's their girl. Like, I'm seeing that's the girl I'm talking to. Let's see. He better. Like, I want you guys to spend more time together. Like, maybe that's what he's feeling. I want to spend more time with you. Oh, he needs to break this silence. He's been a little guarded. You know, you'll hear from him. Yeah, that's the part that I'm hearing him say, like, we need to spend more time together. We need to spend more time together. But the problem is, like, what is he doing about that? I guess that's what I'm getting a little bit confused about, because, you know, clairsentiently I can connect with him and feel like he wants to see you. He wants to hang out with you. He wants to hug you. He wants to be close to you. He wants to feel you near him and in his energy. And the confusion with me is, well, why are we not connecting? There's definitely emotional distance here with the Hermit card and confusion and underlying tension and conflict, maybe from him to need to, like, reflect or figure out how he truly feels. Because here's the thing, SB, when you guys first got together, like, there was that, like, weird thing that kind of happened, right? And then he came back around. And so I think what he wants you to know is that he did not expect this connection. And I feel like he's like, this kind of came out of left field for me. Like, it came at a time when I wasn't looking, I wasn't ready. Like, I thought that I just wanted, like, a fun person to hang out with. And I think that you have him second guessing things, and he's going, oh my God, yeah, I actually can see her being a girlfriend to me. But he's like, I'm not ready I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. And so I think deep down, I think he knows that he wants more with you, but he's like, I'm unprepared. You know, it's kind of like having to give a speech at the front of class with, like, your essay isn't written. Like, I feel like he's like, I know the subject, but I don't have all my thoughts together. It feels like things are all over the place, and I really need to, like, sit down and, like, write it out. I need to really figure out what it is that I'm feeling for this girl. It's not that he doesn't think that you are of value. It's not that he doesn't see that you are girlfriend material. Like, it's none of that. It's that I think that you came along at a time when this connection was so unexpected. He was like on a whole different trajectory. He was on like a whole nother path, a whole nother like track for himself and his life. And then you kind of came in and you just like shook things up, and he's kind of going, what do I do with this information? And I think that's why he's kind of in this place to need to like reflect and figure out how he's truly feeling to be able to come forward. And I think then there was that added confusion from you as well. Isn't that when it usually happens? Absolutely. And then I think there was the added confusion from you because he knew that you guys had chemistry. He was picking up on something there, but at the same time, you were telling him, like, let's just see, let's just be friends. And so he was like, okay, down, I can be on board with that. And then I think that you guys got to a point where you were both like, wait, there are real feelings here. Fuck, what do we do with this? And I think that's kind of where he is, and I think he's needing a pause. And it's not that he wants to be away from you. It's that things were happening rather quickly for him, and he was like, if I don't slow this down, it's going to get ahead of me. And I know that I want to be with this girl. I just don't know if I can be with this girl right now. And so maybe if I kind of pull back a little bit, maybe we can slow time down, and then maybe finally when like I can figure this shit out, like we can resume this. Like it's almost like he's not trying to put a pause on you. He's not trying to pull away. He's just trying to stop you guys from getting ahead of yourself and doing something before you're ready. And I think that he wants to be your boyfriend. I think he wants to be in a relationship with you. I think that he's just hoping that some time can pass. It's almost like, slow-mo. Like he's trying to hit a button on your life right now and go slow-mo because he's trying to catch up. And so like this is what's hard, about your connection is like he's feeling all the feels, and I think that he's really falling for you. And I think that deep down he knows that he just has to like decide. He's going to have to just like take the plunge, take the leap of faith, because the thing is I don't think he wants to lose you. And I think that he feels very territorial over you, and the thought of you being with someone else kind of makes him sick to his stomach. And I also think that he knows what you have been through. And I think he doesn't want to play with your heart. I think he's saying like, I want to play it safe with her heart, and I don't want to confuse her. And I think that unfortunately he is being confusing because he's not just being direct with you. So it's almost like what he's trying to avoid is what's happening. But I think that he's trying to be careful. I think he's trying to care for you and your feelings. And yeah, go for it. You can change your next question. Absolutely. I've been drinking a lot of water today. I've got to actually take a quick potty break. So I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll let you type your question. Okay, I'm back. I was like, I'm trying to think of how many readings I still have to do, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold it. All right, so second question. Yeah, he doesn't want to play with your heart. He doesn't. I think the issue is that he's let this like quietness, I guess, go on for too long. He's not being direct enough with you, and I think that what he was trying to avoid is actually what's happening. And I think at this point, I think he just doesn't want to lose you, SB. I really think he doesn't want to lose you, but I think that it's kind of like I'm getting a lot of that theme tonight. You know, like shit or get off the pot. Like, okay, make a decision or just move on. Like, he needs to figure this out a little bit quicker because you've been very patient with him. What do the next 60 days look like for the connection? Have you guys been able to go on a date at all recently? Because to be honest, I thought you guys would have been making it official at this point or before the end of the year. Okay. So basically, he's doing what he can to like keep this going, but it's not enough. So yeah, it feels like he's this poor guy, he's really just trying to hit slow-mo on your connection. Like he's spacing out the dates because he's saying, I still want her to know that I'm interested in her, but I don't know like if it's the right time. It's like that's what's tough. He's like continuing to keep in touch with you because he's like, I don't want this to go anywhere. Like, I don't want her to move on. I don't want to lose her. I think there will be more romantic expression in the next 60 days. There will be significant change for the better. You have the Ace of Cups that came out with the Tower. So to me, that feels like there will definitely be some like big change or monumental thing that happens between the two of you. There's a lot of inner conflict I feel in the beginning of the next 60 days trying to figure out what to do, but I do see some clarity or revelations or change when it comes to your connection and love. What's the next 60 days looking like? The next 60 days looking like? It's funny because I'm like, oh, let's do this. And he's like, yeah, let's do this. But then he'll plan the date. Yeah. That makes sense. I think there will be emotional expression. I think that he is going to try to be more like open to you, more vulnerable to you. But like the question is what's stopping it? Like SB, do you feel like you have done your best to make your intentions clear with him, or do you feel like you're kind of waiting on him to make that first move and then you'll follow suit? Cuz like I do understand the desire to want someone else to speak first. Because that's kind of like, you know, traditional. You're keeping yourself busy because this is crazy. Like, I kind of like a man who takes charge. I like them making their intentions clear. But I also think that there's nothing wrong with you, like, drawing that line as well. You want him to make the move now, okay? I think there's something big that happens between you guys in the next 2 months. Um, I think it's like this moment of clarity, revelation, understanding. Things kind of just like things just, I don't want to say blow up because that comes with like a negative connotation, but kind of blow up. Like I feel like something kind of big happens between the two of you that allows better understanding for where you both stand and where you're going. um I still think because decisions haven't been made yet, you haven't quite decided for sure what you're doing, and then he hasn't quite decided. And so when we're looking into your future, it is kind of fuzzy. I think that if you had come to me and said, Luna, tomorrow I'm sending him a text message, I already have it typed out, I'm going to let him know how I feel, I think that I could get more clarity on your future. But because it's kind of wishy-washy, because he's quite not made a decision, you've quite not made a decision, you're kind of like, do I say something, do I let him say something? I think that's where I'm getting a little bit of like haziness, I guess, in terms of your future of the next 2 months. But what I can say is that there is going to be emotional expression where one or both of you are going to confess your feelings for each other. I feel like that's happening. And I also feel like this could be the catalyst for this big like thing to happen between the two of you to really understand like where you guys stand in each other's lives and what you guys want from this, so that way you kind of know what you're doing moving forward. Because I feel like one or both of you are going to kind of be like, maybe you mostly, because I think you kind of want to be like, hey, let's lock this down, like let's make this happen. And I feel like he's kind of in this like, I'd be good if we did, and also like I'm fine waiting a little bit longer. Learning about boundaries, started therapy for it. You can see yourself getting annoyed and saying something. But like, SB, remember that you chose to wait. So like, while it is frustrating, it's not all on him. And if you come at him annoyed or frustrated, that's not going to go well, because you have to take some responsibility in the fact that you could have said something a long time ago, but you didn't. So you can't be fully annoyed with him for doing the same thing that you're doing. And if you come at him for the first time ever to express your feelings and you're frustrated by it, that may catch him off guard. So I think that the only way that you'd feel fully like empowered in what you're saying is if you come across just clear and direct, and like just say, this is how I feel, and just put it out there. If he continues to do things that upset you and he knows that he's upsetting you, absolutely give him hell for it. But like the first time you approach it, that's kind of tough, Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to like put a bad taste in his mouth either, because he's going to go, wait a second, like, where is this coming from? Things have been so good. Maybe he needs to hear from you that you are looking for more effort from him. And is that something that he's going to be able to give to you? So definitely that communication is going to be important. Telling him, I want to see you more, I want to spend more time with you. Is that something that you are able to do? And if he's like, no, I can't, then I think you have to then go back to the drawing board and reanalyze, is this for me then? Because, I don't know about you, but maybe your life that's conducive to your schedule. But for me, I want to see my person as much as possible. And I never want to feel like there's a restriction on that or a limit on how often I can see them. So I think you have to get real with yourself and figure out, like, is he going to be able to give to you exactly is he going to be able to give to you, like what you're looking for? It was hard, like in my relationship, the beginning of this, I was only seeing him, on the weekends, and that was hard for me, but that was our schedule. It wasn't like I felt like he just didn't want to see me. It was just like I worked full time during the week, he worked full time during the week. Like I had Saturdays to myself to like clean, get my laundry done, do whatever I needed to do, and then he'd come over Saturday night and stay until Monday morning. So that it never felt like he just didn't want to see me. It felt like he was any free time that he had, period, he was dedicating to me. And that made all the difference. So if all he can, if his only free time is once every week or once every week and a half, and he's giving all of that to you, then I think that you could be happy with that. But if you feel like he's got multiple days during the week and he's going weeks without seeing you, then that's where you're kind of like, this isn't going to work for me. But you never want to feel like there's a restriction on how often you can see the person that you're in a relationship with. And so that's where I think these conversations are going to have to come in that, with tarot, I can't really predict, because that's going to have to be a conversation between the two of you. It's tough. It's tough. All right, let's see. Let's get some messages for you. You said you think communication needs to improve big time. Yeah. And like in the beginning, you kind of let it slide because you're thinking, oh, well, it's new. Like, we're not going to put a title on it. Like, we're just seeing how things go. But once you start investing feelings and emotions and all of that stuff, then it gets hard to like just be so la-ti-da about it. You have to like start getting, you need some parameters. I think that's just like normal. You said I'm learning how to speak up for myself, but it's hard. Are you the type of person that it's easy for you to speak up on behalf of other people, but it's hard for you to speak up for yourself? Because I've heard that a lot of people who say it's hard for me to speak up for myself, but like it's so easy to stick up for your child or your sibling or your friend, and like you have no issue telling someone off, but when it comes to like defending yourself, it's hard. So you have to try to like, if you feel that way, you have to try to harness that energy, like you're speaking about yourself as if you were your friend or your child or whatever. So I feel like he's saying, I feel so at home with you, like everything just clicks. Being with you feels like a celebration, like we've built something solid together. I can't help but picture a future where we're both at peace and celebrating our connection. I am at a crossroads and been thinking a lot about the direction that I want to take. I know I need to make some decisions about us, about where we're going. I just want to make sure I'm moving in the right direction. And I do want you to be a part of that. I want to offer you something real and something solid. I can't deny the spark between us. It's an intense pull I can't resist. I'm passionate about what we have. I'm scared to take risks. I feel like things are very unpredictable right now, and I'm juggling a lot, trying to balance everything in my life, but I want you to know that you're on my mind. So, one thing I will say before I conclude your reading, I do like that he's saying that he knows he has some decisions that he needs to make, because it's like it's confirming what I thought in these readings, and it's making me feel like he is aware of it. It's not like he's just like delusional. Like, he knows, he's aware. I think that he knows that you're waiting on him, which is good. When you have to, but you have your first ever therapy appointment. Congratulations. And it seems you have a lot of anxiety, so it makes sense. Well, Taurus, SB, I'm sure that you will, you'll muster up the strength to have that conversation, and I hope that it goes how you want and that you feel like you've got that clarity. Yeah, definitely so. The main thing to always remember is he's trying to be careful with your hearts, and I think that's very commendable. Have a good night, SB. You're very welcome. All right, we're shuffling for Stacy. Stacy. Stacy, I don't think your boyfriend has changed his mind about you guys moving in. This is kind of like a weird thing, because I feel like he knows that you guys I'm getting like this weird, like, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. He knows that you guys had a fight. He knows that it's a bad argument, but there's something in his gut that feels like this isn't the end for you guys. So it's like he knows that this wasn't great. He knows that this was hard. This was bad. This, like, he understands that all the negativity that comes and is associated with this argument that you guys had, but his gut is telling him this isn't the end for you guys. Like, it can be emotional and it can be hard, but I feel like there's something inside of him that has faith that you guys still will be together, or there's unfinished business here. So it's like he is taking it to heart, and this is frustrating for him. And I'm not saying he's not going through any kind of like emotions, or he's not reacting to what has happened, but it's almost like he has like this, I don't know, overlying like comfort from his intuition that you guys will still be together. And I don't think that he has changed his mind. We have the Emperor. I don't think that he's changed his mind on you guys moving in. I think that this is difficult and this is hurting. And I think that he just wants better for you guys. He's showing like an easier future, wanting an easier future for you guys, where you guys have that healing that you need and that forgiveness in your connection, where you guys can kind of get back into what made you fall in love with each other in the first place. I think that he is feeling very heavy from these disagreements, and he feels like this is hard. This has been a hardship for you guys, because you're finding yourself in like what feels like a pattern or a cycle or something like that. And he's showing that this conflict is getting to him. But I guess because you guys have made it out of all of these other arguments, it's like, okay, we're gonna get back together. Like, I don't think that he really believes that this is the end for you guys. You feel like he's trying to manipulate you then, because he told you he's contemplating breaking up, which is so surprising because we're doing really good. Oh, I don't think that he intends. I think this is a way for him to threaten you or, like you said, manipulate. I, truth be told, don't think that he will end this connection unless you do, because he's the emperor. So he's unchanged here. He's going to continue to be the way that he's being. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm starting to wonder if this is you, the Six of Swords, the Judgment, Six of Swords. I'm starting to wonder if this is you, where you're just wanting an easier time. Here's the thing. You want him. You want to be with him. You want him, but you want him in a state where it's good, and you want to live with him in a state where it's good. And I'm getting the message that, Stacey, you've had moments where you wonder if you should walk away. Like, you wonder, and you don't want to, because you don't want to have these thoughts. Like, you don't want to think this way, but like in the moment, in the heat of the moment, you're going, you know what, I just need to be done. But then you start to think about what life will be like without him, and you start changing your mind on it. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be both of you. I don't think he's changed his stance. I don't think he's changed his mind. I don't think he's done with you. I think that if he views moving in together as the possibility of either arguing a lot more or arguing less. So I think he's still open to the idea of living together, because he wants to know if that's going to fix things. If you guys are living together and together all the time, will that help? So I think that he's still open to figuring that out. Yeah, I agree, Stacey. I don't think that's good either. I really don't. And, you know, manipulate's a pretty strong word. It's like, it's a really strong word to say about someone that you're, you know, in a relationship with. So I think that you guys will stay together. I don't think this is the end. I think he needs some time to cool off, because I do have the Nine of Pentacles. So I think that he's going to need some space. Maybe you will too. I just, you know, here's the thing, Stacey. This is the part that I don't understand about this energy, is that it seems like he switches up on you really fast. It's like you're constantly like not knowing where you stand with this person. Like, things can be really really good for a long time, and then suddenly out of nowhere he switches up on you, and then he's trying to find reasons to break things off, and he's trying to find reasons to fight with you. And it has me wondering why. Like, why this switch up? And I don't think it's anything you're doing. I think it's just like something going on here. Oh, it's so weird. We were saying the same thing at the same time. All right, let me dig into that a little bit. Let me ask why he's all of a sudden. Why does he all of a sudden bring breaking up? If they're doing so well, why does he all of a sudden bring breaking up? So we have the Five of Swords, which talks about intimidation. This could be when he feels like there's times in his life where he's feeling inferior to you. Like you might be looking really good. Like you might have like have a certain energy or aura about you. There's something here where it's like I think he feels inferior at times to you, and it could just be, you know how people say, oh, I'm just kind of in a funk today, I'm just not feeling great. Like it sometimes there's nothing that actually triggers it, it's just a mood that he is in, that it feels like he's trying to find ways to bring you down. He's trying to find ways to intimidate or make himself feel like he's in control or make himself feel more powerful. And he knows that you're emotionally invested in him and he's taking it out on you. And I'm going to let you know that that is a form of abuse, just to be completely honest with you. And that could be why in his gut, he knew that this isn't the end of you guys, that he knows that the argument was bad and whatever, but like, he felt like things would be fine because maybe he feels that he has that control over you or he has that power over you, you know? And I think that that's what it is. I think it's that power dynamic. And so when he's feeling inferior, when he feels like he doesn't, and that's the other thing too, is I'm hearing deflect. Stacy, I feel like there's times where he's deflecting as well. So like if you're asking him to do something to make you feel better or make yourself feel more comfortable or make yourself feel more loved, or if there's ever something you're asking of him that he doesn't want to change, he'll deflect and he'll put it back on you. So think too about the interactions you guys have had recently. Is there anything that you were wanting more of or asking him to do or asking him to change? And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So now he's going on the defense and he's going, all right, well, she's emotionally invested in me. Let's do something so crazy, so big that she'll forget that she even asked this of me, because then I can control her in this way and make her feel like we're breaking up. He thinks you should never get any arguments. You feel arguments happen. Yeah, arguments happen in relationships. Absolutely. Absolutely. They do. I mean, I don't think arguments should be happening every day, and I don't think they should be happening every month. I will say maybe once a year I argue with my husband, or we get into an argument. Maybe twice a year. I don't know. It's not very often. Him and we get on very well, but I do think that things are going to come up. I will say that arguments were happening a lot more earlier on in our relationship because we were still learning each other and adjusting to our lives together. And I was coming into the relationship with baggage, and, you know, we were learning things. But the main thing is we don't argue about like the same shit over and over again. It's like if we have a disagreement about something, he brings something to my attention that bothered him, or I do, then we validate each other's feelings and we squash it and we try harder to not do it anymore. So it's like, it's just not a part of our daily life. And it's usually pretty quick too. It's like if something happens, it's like more a conversation. So I do agree with you that, you know, disagreements are going to happen, but I don't think that they should be happening every day. So I'm kind of in the middle. I agree with him to a certain extent, but I also feel like I agree with you too. And there's a happy medium somewhere in there. And I feel like for him, he thinks arguments are happening because you're pointing out something in the relationship that you don't like and you want him to change. And you're asking him to do something that he doesn't want to do. So he feels it's more like you're nagging him rather than like trying to have an open discussion about how to better the quality of your connection. And I think that's where it's like getting complicated for you guys. So then he just retreats, deflects, and goes, never mind, let's just break up, because he knows he's holding that over your head, and that's not fair. That's not how you should be in a relationship. Yes, I completely understand. I completely understand that. And if you feel like you're not getting what you want, let me just tell you, relationships can be easy. They can be simple. I know that certain elements can come in, financial stress, children, and just like your careers and things like that. I understand that every relationship can have these external burdens and these external factors that can make a relationship hard. But at the core of it, on the very basic level, relationships should be fun. Relationships should be easy. You should be excited to go with this person here and this person there. Like, I still want my husband with me everywhere I go. Everything I do, I want him with me. When we go to the store, I want him with me. He doesn't always come, but like, I want to do life with him, and like, that's how it should be. And so I feel like if you feel like it's not simple and you feel like just getting him to like validate you is like pulling teeth, it might not be the right relationship for you. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because you've already started building a life with this person. And at one point you thought in the recent events, you thought you guys were moving in a different direction. But can you imagine living with this person and then suddenly being out on your ass because he decides one day he just wants to break up with you? Like, you need to feel secure in the relationship before you guys move in together. Again, I don't think that his stance has changed. I think he still assumes that that's still going to be the plan. But I think that he's trying to get you to come back with like your tail between your legs, apologizing to him. And therefore, he's completely deflected from the whole conversation in the first place, and now he gets to get away with not improving himself or making himself better or validating you and how you feel. Your relationship has been so good for so long. That's why he asked you to move in, and then one argument he's thinking of breaking up. I don't get it. I don't get it either. That's going to be a lot of unpacking with a therapist to understand his motives, but this is what it feels like to me, is that he's using it as a tool of deflection. He's using it as a way to not grow and not evolve and not change. And so basically he's saying that as long as you don't want anything from me extra than what I'm giving to you, then we're good and you can move in with me. And I just don't think that's how relationships should work, personally. I don't think it should be like this fear that if you try to have a conversation with them, then that means you're breaking up. Like, you should be able to talk to them. And the thing is that relationships grow and change over time. Your relationship's not always going to look the same. What are you going to do if in 5 years from now your whole life looks completely different and you're still with this person and asking them to accommodate to these new changes, and this person's unwilling to change? Like, if you have someone who's not willing to grow, not open-minded, not willing to evolve, that means you're going to be stuck in this place that you're in with him right now for the rest of forever. And that is bleak, because you want to know this person can evolve and change and go with the flow and adapt to all of life's circumstances. If he feels like having an argument is an inconvenience to him, that doesn't bode well for your future together, because that's like unrealistic, you know? I think ultimately, Stacey, this is going to have to be something that you have to take your power back. Like, you cannot live your life in fear that he's going to constantly rip the rug out from underneath you, and that every single day you're walking on eggshells worried that he's going to break up with you. He should be worshiping the ground that you walk on. He should be treating you like royalty. He should be treating you like you're the best thing that's ever happened to him, and yes ma'am, and if this is what you want, then this is what I'll do. Because if he's not, there are men out there that will do that for you. You're a beautiful girl, and I just don't think that you should be dealing with this if this is not making you happy. You need to take your power back. Absolutely. He needs to be like, "Oh, well then we'll just break up." And you'd be like, "All right, that's fine. If that's how you feel, then that's what's going to happen." You know what I mean? Like, you need to let him know that he doesn't control this. This is a partnership. This is something that you guys work together, and that you have just as much power in the connection that he does. And that you're not going to be in fear of like him trying to hold this over your head. Good. I'm glad. Now, from his perspective, because I know that's what this reading was, in conclusion, he does not look at this as changed. He feels that you're going to come running back to him. He feels like the plans for moving in together are still an option, still under consideration. He assumes you guys are going to work this out, but he's going off of the experience. And so far, after every argument, you guys have gotten back together. So he's thinking this is just another one of those. So, Stacey, I think that, give it a little time. I think on it, but I don't think this should be his decision, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think that you have just as much of a say in how this is going to move forward. And I think that you have to really analyze, like, yes, you have feelings for him, but just as easily as you got feelings for him, you can get feelings for someone else. This person shouldn't monopolize like your whole entire life and your emotions and like your future and what you want. You should be taken into consideration. Your feelings in the situation should matter. I agree. You shouldn't let that happen. And I feel like when men try to control women, they're insecure. When they're trying to control the situation and have the power in the relationships, that is coming from a very deep insecurity that's within them. Because they don't want you to shine bright. They don't want you to like be everything that you are and in your pure, beautiful essence. Like, that person's trying to smother the life out of you, the light out of you, because of their own inferiority complex. So clearly he knows that you can have anyone that you want. You can leave the relationship. So what he's trying to do is prey on your emotions for him. And it has worked so far. And I think that's something that you have to analyze. And that's not how it should be. Hey, Jazz. Yeah, Stacey. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think it's your responsibility to get through to him. He should be the one wanting to understand you. And if he's not, good riddance. That's how I feel. And I say this with love, because I understand that only you and him understand your relationship. No one else is going to understand it the way that you do, because you guys are in it. And I understand this is hard, and that you're in love with this person, and that, you can't imagine a life without them. And this is going to be emotionally tolling and taxing. But the thing is like, I don't want to see you be disempowered in a relationship. You should only be empowered. And I think that this is just going to be something that you have to sit with, and you have to just like take a deep look into everything that's gone on, how you're feeling. Is he making you feel how you want to feel in a relationship? Because you are going to accept what you feel you deserve. And so until you get to the point where, and maybe you're there now, if you feel you deserve better, you're not going to settle for it. You're going to move on. And so I think that you kind of have to just take stock of everything and Is this something that you want? If this never changes, because you have to take it for what it is right now. And if this is never going to change, is this how you want to live your life? You know? All right, Jazz, I'm shuffling for you, girl. Have you been here the whole time? Or did you just come back? What is making half of it? Oh, dang. Okay. What is making X Libra make a surprise appearance? You're welcome, Stacy. Much love to you, girl. Is it a physical appearance? Is it a appearance of communication? It's a physical appearance, Ajaz. It's not an appearance of communication is what I'm getting. It's not like a reaching out to you via phone or like text or whatever. To me, it feels like it's a physical appearance. It feels like you're seeing this person in person. And that's how this person's coming through. I see here with the Seven of Swords that this is, gotta say it, it's sneaky energy. I don't really like seeing the Seven of Swords when it comes to you asking about someone else, because it feels like an energy that you can't really trust. It feels like an energy that, like, the Libra is here for ulterior motives or is here not for a long time. Like, you just can't trust this to be a consistent, like, stable energy between the two of you. Maybe she's trying to show herself off to you because maybe she's had some kind of changes in her life and she's trying to leave a good impression. I have the Death card here, so there's some kind of transformation that's been happening, maybe some changes in her physical appearance, because it's funny that you said I wonder if it's a legit physical appearance, but I'm thinking maybe she's making changes in her physical appearance and she wants you to see that. But I feel like there's something going on within her, like, that she's just trying to show off, that she's wanting you to see, like, how good she is or how much better off she is. Oh, she has to go. Yeah, like, that's what it's feeling like to me. Let's see if I can get any other information here. Like, I think she's gonna want to share her good news with you. Really, this honestly just feels like wanting to show off. Like, I feel like almost like she wants you to want her again or something. Like, she's trying to... Yeah, this is interesting. Why is she making a surprise appearance? Why is she making a surprise appearance? Yeah, I have the Seven of Pentacles, so they just keep reiterating, like, there's something to celebrate. Like, something that she's wanting, that she's been working really hard for or hard towards, and it's finally paying off. And this could be like a party or something. This could even be her party, like, and somehow you make your way to this party somehow or something. I don't know, or she's trying to invite you to this thing. I don't really know. But it feels like to me that there's some kind of celebration to be had. She's achieved some type of goal and she's worked really hard on something and she's just here to try to impress. She's showing it off. Like, I don't know if she's got a lot of money now or if she's, like I said, made changes to a physical appearance, got a new job, like maybe she's living a better, more luxurious lifestyle. I don't really know, but like there's something here from her energy that's like, I'm showing off. I want to impress. I want her to see my glow up. I want her to see that I'm doing better. I like something in that vicinity, I guess. And it almost seems like something that she's been kind of keeping quiet on for a while, and it's gonna be like a debut, or I don't know. This is kind of weird energy. But again, with the Seven of Swords, it's very unstable. We also have the Tower, again, instability. This is this is this is all for her. That's what I'm trying to say. This isn't for you. This is a very selfish motive. And it feels like something that is like a blip. It's something that happens once or twice and then she's like out of here. So I think that's kind of an energy you have to be weary of and just untrusting of and just like be observant of, and just because I just don't think that it's here. I don't think it's for you. I think this appearance has selfish motives to it, especially with that Seven of Swords. About time. Wish she had the money when you were together. Oh my gosh. You have bigger shit to worry about. It feels very flashy. It feels very egocentric. Yeah. Did that answer your question, friend? Let's see. I would feel like the next month or two is what I felt, but let me get a timeline here. All right, we have the Devil. We have Capricorn season, which is going to start, I think, on December 22nd into January. Oh, no, December 21st to January 20th. So, yeah, remember I said in the next month or two, it's in December or January is what it feels like to me. Wait, does Capricorn season start on the 21st or the 22nd? Now I'm confused. Some people are saying the 20th or 22nd. I don't know. It's one of those dates. I guess I got to figure this out. Oh no. Oh, what if it's your birthday? What if it's your birthday party? And like are you in, I probably have asked you this before, but do you guys run in the same circles? Because like it makes me wonder if like you're doing something for like your birthday and, well, no, because it's Capricorn season. Are you an Aquarius? Am I remembering wrong? Oh, the 21st of January. Oh, you're right on the cusp. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it says Capricorn December 22nd to January 20th. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you are Aquarius, but you're like right there. You're right there on the cusp. I don't know, girl. It could be because, well, let's look at the calendar. 2025, January 21st. So like, for example, you might do it the weekend before. Like it might be like a birthday party you do during Capricorn season still, or something like that, or it could just be right around there. But for all I know, it could be a birthday party celebration. She knows you're going out. Maybe she knows the places you typically go to, so she makes an appearance. Or maybe you're inviting people, but they run in the same circles, and they're like, can we bring a guest? And she somehow finds her way there. Like, I don't really know. It's funny that you say she's the fool because when I was asking about the dates, the fool almost came out. But yeah, girl, that's what I've got for you, friend. She's so obsessed with you. Yeah, she definitely has selfish motivation. All right, girl. Well, I hope you have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Anybody else that's hanging out with me, thank you for being here. I hope you have had a good evening. What's today? Well, it's Thursday, but Thursday in the middle of the night. So you guys should see me live at least one more time within the next 48 hours. So I might be offline this evening, like in a couple of hours evening, or I might be live again and then I'll do offline on Friday. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but you should expect to see me live at least one more time this week, if not twice. You're welcome. Have a good night, everyone.